Now, with the relatively new internet, the citizen journalists have the ability to post almost anything online, including their opinion. And do you think this is bad media, or should they not be able to do this?
Oh, they should absolutely be able to do this. No question. But again, we should teach people how to sort out what is this amazingly honest, observant person who really has reportorial skills that happen to be in the middle of that great Egyptian moment, that Cairo moment that told about the way that the army was responding and the police were responding. There are moments of just startling, raw clarity that come through from citizen journalists. But there's also crazy people out there that have a flip cam, and they have some issues, and they will put something out there that tells you really crazy stuff. Like I happened to be there at 9/11, and I spent the night at Ground Zero, and I was involved heavily in reporting from there on that story. And I read these things, and people say, "Oh, there weren't really any planes, there weren't really any casualties, there weren't really any," and they think of themselves as citizen reporters uncovering this huge, conspiracy. And I look at those people and I just think, they need medication. I'm glad they have an outlet. It probably may keep them from harming themselves or others, that they are able to get their aggravation out. But these people need professional help.
Right. But do you think the majority of the population are believing these citizen journalists and not really tuning into CNN and listening to their point of view?
Well, it sort of makes us go through another phase of living in a small town. One of the things, once upon a time, most Americans lived in a small town, and we didn't go very far from our town. Right. We'd spent our whole life in there. And America, when it lived like that, ended up doing okay, because this is who we are today. So when you live in a small town, you hear an awful lot of people reporting on other people's business. There's a lot of conversations that happen over back fences, or while you're hanging up the wash, or while you're at the post office. And when people get back, they say, "I saw Bob at the post office, and he said Harry was doing over at the neighbor's house." And he gets it wrong. When he repeats it, he doesn't do a very good job. And by the time that story gets repeated another 2 or 3 times, Harry is a serial killer, and he was out stabbing people in the eye with forks.
Right.
So after a while, we begin to sort out who is telling you the truth, and who people somehow miraculously work out for themselves what to believe in. And I think we're seeing that happen even now. We saw in the run-up to the 2010 election this enormous ginning up of anger. And I think now people are beginning to sort out some of the, we've been bamboozled here and there, and next time around, I'm not going to be fooled again.
Right.
Interesting. Now, what do you think about more legendary broadcasters who can't even find work now? Because I think a lot of news stations go for maybe the more attractive type.
Absolutely.
And not always on experience.
So you have before you in Boston one of the remarkable people that have been with us 30-something years, Jack Williams, the last man standing.
People might grow up watching him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, Jack's a friend, and he's a great man. There are not many people like him, because you're absolutely right that one of the things that broadcasters tend to do is they want to bring in younger people for a number of reasons. They're cosmetically more attractive than somebody my age. And it's easier to look at when you're eating a meal. But also because they're younger and less experienced, they often tend to be cheaper. And it draws in a younger demographic. Well, one of the reasons I found out that TV likes to have a younger demographic, younger people watching, is because if I'm an advertiser and I'm selling Bounty paper towels or Charmin toilet paper, somebody like me, I buy Bounty paper towels and I buy Charmin toilet paper every time I go to the Star Market, and I'm going to do that till I die. You know, that because I found it works for me. They're not going to change my mind to put on an ad for Scott paper towels. But you people, younger people, have not fully formed their opinion about a lot of consumer choices yet. So if they can convince you to buy Scott paper towels while you're still open-minded about your paper towels, you will buy those paper towels. You know, I only have 6 months to live, say. You know, they're wasting their time trying to convince me to buy Scott paper towels to begin with, and I'm only going to be buying paper towels for that long. You, on the other hand, have this long distinguished life before you. And if they can get you to buy Scott paper towels, you will buy Scott paper towels for 40 years. So it's really much more attractive to Scott paper towel advertisers to try and get to have you sitting in front of the TV when they bring on their commercial for Scott paper towels. So a TV show can sell a commercial to Scott paper towel people if somebody like you is sitting in front of the TV for more money than if somebody like me is sitting in front of the TV. And you will be more likely to sit in front of the TV if somebody young like you perhaps is giving the news because you identify with them.
Maybe, but I mean, I like Jack Williams. I think he's really experienced. He adds his own opinions to it, and I mean, I'm more comfortable watching someone like that. I'm not really looking at the person. I think I want to hear someone who knows what they're talking about.
But then again, there are some people who would rather turn on the TV and hear the news from the 30-year-old blonde girl on TV, and they're much more interested in that.
I'm very impressed by the conversation you two are having. This is good. But one of the things that I am so impressed by what you said about Jack Williams. And you're absolutely right about the young blonde girl, though people usually are sort of like looking at her until something goes wrong. You know, when something bad happens, something big bad, even if it's just a blizzard, when you have somebody on like Jack who's been to the big, who was trapped in the WBZ studios for days during the blizzard of '78 when people lived next door at the Ramada Inn because they couldn't get home and they were doing blizzard coverage. Somebody like Jack, when there's a big blizzard here, that's who I want to see. Because the 30-year-old person goes, "Oh my God, do you believe all this snow?" You go, well, yeah, this is New England. That's what it does in the winter. It snows. Or if something like 9/11 happens, or a war happens, or something serious happens, you want somebody that you know is calm and will give you the straight scoop and has some history to draw on to put it in perspective. Somebody like Jack, that's who I want.
Yeah, Mr. Williams has been through such situations, and he knows how to handle it on TV.
Absolutely.
And it's like a breath of fresh air.
Easy for you to say.
Fresh breath of air to hear someone like that covering a story that might be more difficult to take in.
Yes.
Perhaps like 9/11 or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dylan, want to get a question in?
Oh yeah. So what effect did it have on your broadcasting career after losing the job and getting fired of CNN 8?
Oh, that was one of the things, people that may not remember that, I was famously fired by Comcast because I protested giving an award of journalistic distinction to Bill O'Reilly. My view was that absolutely, if you want to have him come and speak, buy him a chicken dinner at the banquet, do a Q&A, whatever you want to do, that's great.
They said it was an Emmy Award show that you were at.
It was an Emmy Award show where what you are recognizing is best practices in television and journalism. And by giving the Governor's Award to somebody, you say that this is where to set the bar for young broadcasters like you. This is the kind of person that you should aspire to be. This is the kind of career that you perhaps should consider setting out for yourself. These are the kinds of distinguished, things that you should look to achieve on your own.
A role model.
Bill O'Reilly is somebody that constantly gets the facts wrong, that acts as a bully, that calls people names, that essentially is an entertainer in a way that is sometimes harmful to other people. And I don't think that's the right message to give to young people like you. You may want to be Bill O'Reilly, but I don't think we should encourage you to be Bill O'Reilly, because in the long run, getting things wrong, being a bully, and calling people names is never something I would encourage my children to do. And one of the things that I was glad about when I protested Mr. O'Reilly getting that award at the Emmy Awards event and got fired for and one of the ironies of it is that night I was up for an Emmy Award for commentary. One of the things I did was give opinion about things. One of the nice things about it was I don't think my 3 children have ever been prouder of their dad. So if nothing else came out of it but that, I consider that a good outcome and effort well spent.
So what's your relationship like now with Bill O'Reilly? Do you know him personally? Have you talked to him since?
Oh, no. I had come across, Mr. O'Reilly and I had come across each other's paths at times in the past. And I just always thought he was just kind of buffoonish. And but also because he had spent time in the Boston broadcast area, a lot of people had come across him or worked with him. And because they knew I worked in Boston, people would volunteer stories about O'Reilly to me. They go, "Oh yeah, you're from Boston? Yeah, blah 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 Bill O'Reilly." And they were never stories about, and he saved this little old lady's life. There were always stories about, what a horse's patootie. You know what he did. So my opinion of Bill O'Reilly, from having crossed paths with him in the past, I came to find were widely shared. I've had cops and construction workers come up to me after that event and say, way to go, way to go.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Bill O'Reilly either.
No, well, I think that perhaps speaks well of your character.
Yeah.
So I'm getting that feeling that you would not go back and not protest that award he was getting. You are proud of your decision.
Yeah, I think I'm absolutely proud of my decision because, and it was very costly. I had a good job, made a lot of money. And I knew that there was a good chance something like that could happen. But there comes a time in your life when you think, should I do the moral thing or the easy thing? And I thought that was the moral thing to do. I thought that was the ethical thing to do. And there comes a time when you just think, I shouldn't just, people are telling me to stifle. People are telling me to shut up. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Right, absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's edition of YBA Today. I'd once again like to thank Barry Nolan, our special guest, for coming in and talking with us today. For our entire news team here, I'm Max Kleiman. See you next time.